10 Good Reasons for Taking Driving Lessons. A Guide for the Irish Learner Driver. In a driving context, most of the decisions that you take and the techniques that you employ will have both an economic and a safety impact. The decision to take driving lessons is really a simple one, but one that will have far-reaching consequences well into the future. Most, if not all, poor or dangerous habits in today's drivers stem from the lack of professional tuition at the outset. In this second in a series of articles designed to assist today's learner drivers, we will have a look at the benefits in taking professional tuition. 1. Taking lessons will greatly improve your chances of staying safe and accident-free, since providing you retain what you have been taught, you will be probably better than many motorists who have been driving for considerably longer. Lack of sufficient training, or even no training at all, which is common in Ireland, will inevitably lead to accidents at a very early stage in the driving career. Accidents are to be avoided at all costs. After all, isn't the safety of the driver, the passengers and other road users the paramount priority? 2. A course of lessons at the start of your driving career, and not 1 month from your driving test, will give you the confidence you need to continue the learning process, and will form the foundation for safe motoring. 3. Taking a course of lessons will give you the chance to be accepted by an insurance company for your first insurance policy. In fact, most companies will insist on a minimum number of lessons completed by a recognized school before a son or daughter will be admitted onto a parent's policy. 4. On a very topical note, the Irish insurer Hibernian, in conjunction with the Institute of Advanced Motorists, has extended its successful ignition scheme to provisional license holders since January 2005. Learner drivers that pass the 1-hour driving assessment will be offered a 21% reduction on their insurance. This is a substantial reduction for any new driver, particularly young males under 25 years of age, and well worth achieving. Just being in the possession of a provisional license will not suffice to pass this test. A course of lessons will be needed in order to achieve the required standard, and the test should not be booked until quite a high level of both competence and confidence has been reached. 5. Passing the Department of Transport driving test, sooner rather than later, will result in further reductions in already high insurance costs. Lessons taken just before the driving test will not cut it in today's test environment. There is just too much to learn if one wants to be successful first time out. 6. The long waiting list for the Irish driving test is a great inconvenience for many learner drivers and also their driving instructors. The long wait is accentuated by the huge numbers of learners who do not prepare adequately with a professional school and then are forced to resit their tests, sometimes several times over. Career aspirations can easily be affected if the journey to a full license is overly prolonged. 7. Obtaining a full driving license promptly will speed up the reduction in your insurance premiums via your annual no-claims bonus, providing of course you are not involved in any accidents. 8. As a fully licensed driver, you will have much greater opportunity to shop around for a competitive insurance quote, since there are only a very few companies who will insure provisional license holders, and then only at a huge premium. 9. As an addition to item number 4, as a fully licensed driver, you may apply for the more advanced Hibernian ignition course, providing you are in your first 5 years of driving. This is a full-day course, the cost of which can be recouped if you pass the practical driving assessment at the end of the day. The reduction in insurance premium for the successful candidate can be upwards of 30%, so again very worthwhile. Drivers in this category should take a refresher course with a driving school to ensure that any bad habits or techniques are eradicated. Once again, it is worth pointing out that the length of your driving experience is not a guarantee of success unless you started on the right foot to begin with. 10. If, in the early days of your working life, you are unlucky enough to find yourself jobless through either takeovers, cutbacks or closures, a full driving license will enable you to pick up an interim job very quickly while you regroup and examine your future options. There is a shortage of drivers to fill current vacancies in Europe, particularly in the commercial sector, so there are great opportunities for young qualified drivers who have been well trained. Both career and promotional opportunities abound for the fully licensed driver in any organization. Faced with two candidates of similar qualifications, an employer will naturally favor the person with the full license pretty much every time.